I'm glad you could make it.
I wouldn't pass a chance to spend some time at the pyramid, especially at someone else's expense. I am officially a GPSN guest, right?
Oh, sure. No problem. What would you like to eat or drink?
I will have an extra spicy burrito and a black coffee, please, dear.
Sure, Ms. Lucan.
And do call me Larissa, okay?
Yes, Larissa. By the way, call me Phoenix.
Phoenix? Oh, that's really cute.
Cute? Yes. Waiter. Is a burrito your favorite in this place?
Yes, it is. It is so well flavored.
I know. I also like Mexican food very much. My favorite is fajitas.
Vegetarian or synthetic meat?
Either is good.
I like those Shinto meats very much. They actually taste better than real meat, you know?
I wouldn't know. I've never had real meat. You like our pyramid?
Are you kidding? I was dreaming of an apartment with a view of it. It is one of my favorite relaxation activities. Just watch it glow.
I also do that sometimes. Not as much as I used to, though.
You should. I discovered that it has a really soothing effect on me. I am planning on just watching it this evening to ease my pain.
لازمة.
Did you enjoy shopping in Russia?
Kind of. It was awfully expensive, though.
Was it possible to find everything you needed?
Oh, yes. If you can pay the price, you can find anything. Even the stuff not available here.
Larissa, did Mr. Bogdanov have many friends?
Oh, yes. Yes, he did.
Can you name some of them?
Sure. There are girls at the store. He likes them a lot. His lawyer, psychiatrist.
Larissa, those sound to me more like business associates.
Oh, friends? I don't really know any names of his friends, now that I think about it.
Wow.
Thank you for coming all the way here to talk to me, Larissa. Maybe we'll continue chatting tomorrow at your home.
Sure, dear. Au revoir.
Well, that got me nowhere. It's very difficult to get any useful information from this woman. Hello. Can I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
Dr. Capello, I appreciate your willingness to see me again. I will quickly get to the point this time.
I think that will be better, Officer Wallace, for both of us.
Was Mr. Bogdanov's physical condition affecting his sex life?
How could it possibly not?
Can you describe his limitations?
No, I could not. You need to ask that to one of his sexual partners.
Did Mr. Bogdanov have any partners other than Miss Lucan?
Actually, yes. He was involved with this teacher at the Child Development Center.
Do you know her name?
Yes. I believe her name was Katina Stavropoulos.
Can you tell me about his relationship with this woman?
I can tell you what I know. Being a teacher at the CDC, Miss Stavropoulos had strong maternal instincts. She could compare Mr. Bogdanov's frustrations to her own students' growing pains. I think she perceived Mr. Bogdanov as a child that was trying to imitate adults of the World Union. She wanted to care for him as she would have cared for one of her own children at the CDC.
Do you think Mr. Bogdanov benefited from this care?
It seems to me like he did. He desperately needed attention, and plenty was given. I realize now that he had never experienced that type of attention before.
Do you mean while he was in Russia? As a child growing up?
Precisely.
I don't think I should take any more of your time today, Dr. Capello. Can we continue later?
Sure, as you wish.
Thanks for all your help.
You're welcome.
So Bogdanov had a love interest at the Child Development Center. PA, add Adrianopolis Child Development Center to my navigation map.
Good.
Oh, what a cutie. It's edible Play-Doh. I used to love these. I think I'm too old to play with these.
Take me.
I think assorted candies. How appetizing. I don't much like gum myself, but maybe that little girl will want it. Hi, cutie. How are you?
Hi, cutie yourself. I'm a respectable 5th grader, and you need to address me appropriately, or else I'll report you for discrimination.
My goodness. I was just being friendly.
Friendly, huh? You adults never know how to address the younger ones like me. Only our teachers here at the Child Development Center treat us with the respect we deserve.
Fine. I apologize for my misconduct. By the way, you have a very special tattoo on your forehead.
I want to be an arrivee when I grow up. Our teachers here are preparing all of us as potential arrivees of the future. Did you know that?
Of course I do. One day long ago, I was a student here myself. Anyhow, respected 5th grader, I am here to see Ms. Kati Stavropoulos.
Ms. Stavropoulos is not available at the moment. Would you like to leave a message?
But I need to see her right away, young lady. I am a peace officer, and...
Hey! What did I say about addressing me appropriately?
Oh, pardon me. Anyhow, I am here for official peace business. Please inform Ms. Stavropoulos that she has a visitor from the Peace Center.
I've already told you. She's not available.
Wow, that's an insistent little kid. Maybe I should try another approach. My dear, respected 5th grader, how about some candy?
Sure, but it depends on the flavor.
Here, try this. I think you'll enjoy it.
Hey, this isn't kiwi flavored. Forget it. If it's not kiwi flavored, I don't want it.
Kiwi flavored candy. Darn, I don't think they have it in the dispenser.
Potato.
Maybe I can. I don't think I have the right color yet. Assorted candies. How appetizing. I don't much like gum myself, but maybe that little girl will want it. Aha! Now I got you, you little brat.
Ah.
My dear, respected 5th grader, how about some candy?
Sure, but it depends on the flavor.
Well, I bet you'll like this one. Here, try it.
All right. I love kiwi.
And while you enjoy your candy, would it be possible for me to talk to Ms. Stavropoulos?
I suppose so. I think she's on a break. Let me page her.
Yes, got it. Miss Stavropoulos, let me introduce myself. I am Phoenix Wallace, a senior security officer from the Peace and Security Center.
Hello. How can I help you?
Miss Stavropoulos?
Just call me Katie, please.
Oh, of course, Katie. I understand that you're a close companion of Mr. Vasily Bogdanov?
Yes, Vasily and I are sexual partners. Why do you ask? Is there a problem?
I'm afraid that I have some devastating news for you. Do sit down and I will explain.
Please, tell me what it is. I don't want to sit down.
Unfortunately, Mr. Bogdanov is dead.
He's dead? What do you mean he's dead? How did it happen? Please, tell me.
I regret to report that he was murdered.
Murdered? He was murdered? How can that be possible? We put so much effort into raising our young. We nurture and guide them so that they can become responsible and productive citizens of the system, so that such atrocities should never happen. Are you telling me our system has failed to protect one of its citizens?
Actually, Katie, it happened in the city of Odessa, in a Russian rogue state.
Oh, those barbarians. I'm somewhat relieved that it did not happen on our soil. What am I to do without my dear Vasily?
Did you know Mr. Bogdanov was going to Russia?
No. I've had no contact with Vasily in the last couple of weeks. I had no idea that he was traveling to Russia.
Do you know why he might have traveled there?
Well, of course, Vasily was Russian. But he never mentioned any plans to me of going back there.
Were you out of town during that time?
No, I was not. I devote all of my time to my job. I cannot leave my students.
Any specific reason for not seeing him then?
Yes.
Do you mind telling me about those reasons?
No, I don't mind. We had an unpleasant conversation. Since then, I had no contact with him.
I know this is very difficult for you. I think I'll just come back another day. Is that all right?
Sure. As you wish.
Thanks for your help.
Glad to be of service to the system.
Poor woman. She looked shaken, yet she appeared calm and controlled. It's a good thing I didn't push her too much the first time.
Hello, dear.
Hi, Sandra.
Want to meet tonight?
Sure.
At the cafe? Round 8?
Alrighty.
See ya.
Bye. What a brat she was. Anyway, I shouldn't bother Kati again today. It's getting late, and I'm beat. What should I wear? I need to get going, or else I'm going to be late for my meeting with Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, dear.
Oh, Sandra, I don't know what to make of this new generation. They're a bunch of ungrateful little bastards.
Are you referring to the girls at the Things store again?
No, I'm talking about some little 12-year-old at the Child Development Center. Get this. She had a make-believe arrivee tattoo on her forehead and an attitude of a real arrivee.
What did she do?
Well, she was sitting in for the receptionist, and she wouldn't let me see anyone until I gave her a reward of her own choosing.
Oh, is that right? That's the attitude I would want my own child to have. Do you know whose investment she is?
I have no idea, but she had such a chip on her shoulder. It must have been someone with an HDI of at least 80.
Well, whomever it is, if that girl is as clever as she is ambitious, she'll return all the investment made on her by the time she turns 20.
I was finally able to get Larissa Lukin to talk to me again.
Great. You must have charmed her with your gift of gab.
No, actually, I had a tip from the chief.
Oh, what did that blob have to say?
Stop calling her that. She is my boss, and she's very good at her work.
She's still a blob. So tell me, what was her tip?
She advised me to take her to a more pleasant environment. So, I invited her to have a coffee at the Pyramid.
And I bet she jumped on that offer.
Yes, she seemed very grateful for the offer.
These immigrants are so easily impressed. I guess it has to do with their lack of sophistication.
You can be so hard on people.
Lighten up, Phoebe. It's just a fact.
I went to my old school today. Every time I go there, I feel so weird.
Why do you feel weird?
It's just that I have flashbacks of unpleasant memories.
Oh, sweetie. We all have to deal with those. Just push them out of your mind.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, all right. I guess I did not have a rough childhood like you. Anyway, why did you go there?
To meet this teacher, who was the murdered immigrant's love interest.
Ooh, now you've got my attention. Did she give you any vivid details of their lustful encounters?
You know that kind of information is confidential. I can't share any of the details with you.
Come on, Phoenix. I've heard you go into confidential details before. Why is this case any different?
It just is. Sandra, I need to leave now. Talk to you tomorrow then. I shouldn't bother Chief Morrison unless I have new important... I don't need to talk to him right now. I don't need to talk to her. I don't need... I don't need to talk to her. I don't need to talk to him. I don't need to... Hello, Pierre. Do you have some time for a few questions?
I guess I do. Whatever.
Did Mr. Bogdanov ever mention his relationships with others?
What kind of relationships are you talking about?
Any kind?
Like the sexual stuff and all?
That's a good place to begin.
Well, let me tell you, Phoenix, from what he told me, and it wasn't very easy to understand him sometimes, he was bonking them one after another.
What do you mean? Taking them out to dinner or something?
Oh, come on. Don't you understand English?
I do. As a matter of fact, I went to college in Great Britain.
You studied in GB, and you don't know the term bonking? Get out of here.
Now I'm afraid to ask what it means.
Bonking, girl. You know, like shagging, romping.
Okay, Pierre. You don't have to spell it out for me.
Yep, that Bogdanov had a way with the young ladies.
Which young ladies are you talking about?
You know, the ones at the thing store.
Who? The sales clerks?
You betcha.
All three of them?
That's what the man said. He had 'em on rotation.
You seem to have some collection there, Pierre. What kind of guns are those?
The explosive and deadly kind.
Oh, they're all firearms, aren't they? I guess I should have known.
That's right, sugar. You should have known.
Why do you say that?
Because that's the kind of guy I am, too.
What, explosive and deadly?
Exactly, babe. Are you getting the chills?
I can't say that I am. Should I be?
Sure. They all get the chills right before it happens.
And where did you get this firearm collection?
I got those pieces in Lincoln, North America.
I can't believe you display these barbaric weapons in your home like this.
What do you mean, barbaric? They are antique weapons of self-defense, relics from a time when our mighty system wasn't there to protect the people. These pieces deserve some respect.
I don't respect any pain-inflicting device. They're all a part of our barbaric past, and I don't understand what people admire about them.
Obviously, we don't see eye to eye about my collection. I believe it's time you left my house. I had enough of your nosy questions, and your attitude is killing my inspiration.
Oh, sorry, Pierre. I was only doing my job. See you later. Either this guy is a true psycho, or... But it can't be. His quarterly psychological analysis would show something. I think he even threatened me. Me, a peace officer. I think it's time to report my findings to Chief Morrison. I have some important facts to discuss, Chief.
I only have a little time. Continue.
Pierre Deville has an extensive firearm collection at his home. He claims these firearms deserve respect. I have a hard time understanding how anyone can think like that. This Pierre is starting to give me the creeps.
A firearm collection? How curious. I've heard of certain military executives collecting such items, but an artist? I wonder where his interest comes from.
I have no idea, Chief, but he seems to have quite a variety in his collection.
Kati Stavropoulos told me that she hadn't seen Bogdanov during the 2-week period prior to his death.
Pierre Deville claims that he and Bogdanov had a 50-50 partnership in their art consultancy business. Apparently, Pierre provided creativity, and Bogdanov dealt with sales and marketing. Pierre added that they shared everything, even Stephen.
Pierre sounds like a very trusting partner. I wonder who was dealing with the accounting.
I'm pretty sure it was Bogdanov, Chief. Pierre didn't strike me as a finance wizard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Chief, I would like to have a questioning warrant for Pierre DeVille, Bogdanov's business partner.
For Pierre DeVille? Can you tell me why?
He is a very untrustworthy character, and I believe he has a tendency towards violence.
Is that right? And how did you figure that out?
His interest in firearms is a clear indication of a tendency towards violence to me. Besides, he claims that he is an explosive and deadly kind of guy.
I understand that his behavior was strange, but some men tend to focus on an old-style masculinity in order to make an influence on the opposite sex. I think he was making a pass at you.
He is truly creepy, Chief Morrison, and not politically correct at all.
Sometimes I am not politically correct either. Does it make me a criminal? Your request is denied.
Oh.
I have nothing further to mention at this time. Even the desk gives a calming effect here.
Hello, can I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
Do you enjoy your job?
Yes, I do.
Do you find it rewarding in any way?
I find it rewarding in many ways. However, since this is an investigation concerning Mr. Bogdanov, just how rewarding I find my job should be none of your concern.
Did Mr. Bogdanov's physical appearance affect his relationship with women?
I'm afraid it did. As you very well know, physical fitness is a very important determinant in sexual partnerships in our society. He was desperate to make a good impression on World Union women. With his physical shape, that was somewhat difficult to achieve.
How do you feel he was coping with this?
He was coping with it in the only way he could, finding alternatives to compensate for his inadequacies. That is why he desperately wanted to get rich.
Get rich? Do you believe he was becoming too greedy?
It is scientifically proven that greed is good and it works. In Mr. Bogdanov's case, his greed, boosted by his desperation, was giving him an enormous motivation to be successful.
Was he able to have healthy relationships with the Union women?
He was obviously struggling. His primary partner, Ms. Lucan, shared a similar past, so his relationship with her was comfortable due to familiarity. However, with native Union women, he just could not get on the same frequency. He couldn't tune in to them.
Did he express any feelings of frustration to you?
He did. Apparently, he did not grasp the basic principles of male-female relationships in the Union. He was still thinking in rogue state mentality, and because of all that, he was trying too hard.
In what ways was he trying too hard?
In our society, the lead to a sexual relationship is generally made by women. In his reality, that is a man's job. Here in the Union, as you very well know, men always play it very cool and seem uninterested. That is the female role in the rogue state social intercourse. If a man is too interested or insistive on a relationship here in the Union, it is perceived by the women as...
Repulsive?
Exactly.
What did Mr. Bogdanov do in his free time?
He told me he spent a good deal of time in the gym. He wanted to become very fit. He felt that his poor physical form made him an outcast in the society.
And did all this time in the gym give him the results he was hoping for?
I would not know that, Ms. Wallace. I only had 2 sessions with him. But my impression is he was really struggling with his physical appearance. He told me that he hoped he could offset his unattractive physique by other means.
And did he mention these other means?
No, he did not. But my impression is that he had a very strong urge to become very rich. He liked hanging out at expensive places, and he was rapidly developing expensive tastes, such as having therapy sessions from me. It is quite unusual for an individual with an HDI of 70 to come to a real therapist.
What expensive places did he mention?
He liked the Stardust very much. It is a very chic club in the Pyramid, usually a hangout frequented by devotees.
Was there anything in particular that he was drawn to at that club?
Sure. It was Mata Hari.
Mata Hari?
Yes. She's an exotic dancer. She has this incredible show at the club. I actually watched it once. Even I could not take my eyes off her. Men are attracted to her, just like insects are attracted to light.
Do you think Mr. Bogdanov was also attracted to this Mata Hari?
Very much so. She was like a goddess to him, and he wanted to make an impression on her desperately. It seemed to me like he would do anything to grab her attention, and he thought he needed higher credibility in order to do that. He felt more secure being near to Mata Hari, like a temporary illusion that he had a very high credit status.
Do you think Mata Hari had noticed him?
I'm not sure. Women like Mata Hari like to pay just enough attention to men, and then they walk away. My impression of what he said is that he was on the verge of developing an affinity for her.
I don't think I should take any more of your time today, Dr. Capello. Can we continue later?
Sure.
I should check out this Stardust Club in the evening. PA. Add Club Stardust at the Pyramid to my navigation map. Hi, I'm back.
Welcome.
Was Mr. Bogdanov an extrovert?
I am sorry. Was he a pervert?
No. Was he an extrovert? Meaning, did he seek the company of others readily?
I don't think so. We would usually meet alone at each other's apartments, so I didn't really see him interacting with other people.
He wouldn't take you out?
Sure, he would take me out, mostly to quiet places. He did not like loud places. Oh, he could be quite romantic at times. Then again, he could get politically incorrect too.
Have you steadily seen Mr. Bogdanov during these 3 years?
Yes, sort of. Until recently.
What do you mean by that?
Well, He was displaying unusually aggressive behavior recently. He even yelled at me a couple of times.
He yelled? That is completely inappropriate. Such rudeness.
I tried to reason with him, but he would just not listen. He had a strange sparkle in his eyes, as if his behavior shifted. Oh, he could be so romantic at times.
That sounds totally strange. Do you have any idea why?
No idea, dear.
I don't understand how a person could display such socially unacceptable behavior and be romantic at the same time.
This behavior of his only started a few weeks back. I don't know what's got to him. He was usually quiet and shy.
So, lately, he was not that romantic.
No, he was not. And I did not see him during the last week.
Was it difficult to leave your biological family in Russia?
Actually, I had none. After my biological uncle died...
You had no other bio-relatives?
No. My biological parents died during the Great War. My bio-uncle raised me, and when he died, I inherited money from him.
When did he die?
Like 4 years ago, I decided to immigrate, with the help of that money.
Is there a particular reason that anyone would want to go to Russia?
Not really. It is hard to imagine why. Anybody would want to go to Russia nowadays.
You sure Mr. Bogdanov had no reason?
Although he frequently longed for his past there, he had no links left behind. It could have to do with business, maybe.
Such as?
Most of those things he sells are manufactured in Russia.
Really?
Oh, I don't know. I am not sure.
Why would Mr. Bogdanov long for his past in Russia?
I think he has some good memories.
He did? Memories of what?
He was very fond of his late biological grandparents.
Why his bio-grandparents?
Apparently, they took care of him when he was a child.
Larissa, I've got all I need from you for the time being. Is it okay if I come back later?
Oh, sure. See you.
Thanks. Good. So, Bogdanov was fond of his biological grandparents. Mention of old people reminds me of... It's getting late, and I'm beat. What should I wear? Wow, this place has a distinct flavor and quality to it. It resembles the clubs I've seen in 100-year-old 2D movies. That door must lead to the backstage. I love that old-fashioned wooden bar. He's the man with the cocktails. And some information, I hope. He must be guarding that door. But why? I guess it's part of the ambience. I bet a lot happens behind that curtain. Hi, I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
Hi, Officer Wallace. My name is Fabian. Would you like a refreshing cocktail?
No, not right now. I'm here in an official capacity.
Well then, Officer Wallace, how can I be of help?
Do you know a man by the name of Vasily Bogdanov?
Of course I know Mr. Bogdanov. He is one of my regulars here, although I haven't seen him lately.
Well, I regret to tell you that Mr. Bogdanov is no longer with us.
Oh, you mean he skipped town?
No, he didn't skip town. Mr. Bogdanov is dead.
He died? In an accident or something?
No, he was murdered in a rogue state. But this information is confidential and you're not to tell the others.
Oh, of course not, Officer Wallace. Confidentiality is my second name. Can I ask how he died?
I'll get to that later. First, I need to ask questions.
I will do everything I can to be helpful, Officer Wallace.
Fabian, how often did Mr. Bogdanov frequent this place?
Oh, he was here almost every night. For a while, he seemed to really enjoy himself here.
Did you engage in conversations with him every time he visited?
I can't say every time, but he was a talkative man and very approachable. We had many conversations. His company will be missed in this place.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
Well, I was his bartender and he was my customer. But as you probably know, Officer Wallace, in my line of business, we tend to get to know our customers pretty well.
Actually, I was counting on that, Fabian. Can you say that you were close to Mr. Bogdanov?
It depends on what kind of closeness you are referring to, officer.
Of course, I mean the type of friendship in which he would have confided in you.
Oh, that kind of friendship. Well, you could say that I have a sympathetic ear.
How long have you been working here at the Stardust?
Almost 10 years now. I am at the top of the seniority list.
And before that?
I traveled through Europe. I didn't want to live in this town at that time.
Oh, are you originally from here?
Yes, I am.
Then I can imagine why you skipped down for a long time.
You mean you know about the history of the city?
Yes, I'm from this place as well.
Were you here during the bloodbath?
Right in the middle of it. I lost my biological family and was abandoned on the streets during the savage riot.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Officer Wallace. I guess we are both scarred for life. How did you survive on the streets? Can you recall?
I can't recall much. Sometimes I have horrific flashbacks. I was found by Amnesty International, alone, frightened, and hungry on the streets.
Well, at least we were lucky enough to survive all that. Many of the people I knew from my youth did not.
How about you? How did you survive?
My bio family took me to the hills, along with many others. We spent the entire winter there until the Union Army arrived and put a stop to all the atrocities. We barely survived the harsh winter. If the Union Army hadn't arrived, we would have perished in the hills.
Anyone who survived that carnage owes their life to the Union Army. Did you ever notice anything peculiar about the way Mr. Bogdanov talked?
No, well, maybe. He was sort of difficult to understand sometimes. I never gave it a second thought.
Why was he difficult to understand?
There was something about his accent. He often mispronounced certain words.
And you never considered this to be strange?
Why should I? Many people from Central Europe of his age have peculiar accents. It's because English is not their mother tongue.
Did it ever cross your mind that he could have been an immigrant?
No, it never occurred to me. Was he really?
Yes, he immigrated only 3 years ago, from Russia.
You don't say. I guess you learn something new every day.
Thanks for the information. I shouldn't take more of your time today, but I might come back with more questions later.
Certainly, Officer Wallace.
I don't think I should take more of Fabian's time tonight. I bet a lot happens, but I bet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I just cannot get that nightmare out of my head. It just keeps haunting me. I don't need to.
Nope, nothing here. Finally, somebody that can be sensible. Hi, I need to speak to Ms. Stavropoulos.
And you are?
I am Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
Officer Wallace. Unfortunately, Ms. Stavropoulos is at class right now, and she is not to be disturbed until her prep period.
What is a prep period?
It is the time when our teachers have a short break from their teaching responsibilities.
And when is her next prep period?
Let's see. Ms. Stavropoulos will be free in 90 minutes. Would you like to wait, or shall I take a message?
Okay, I would like to wait.
Please take a seat. Officer Wallace?
Yes.
Ms. Stavropoulos is on her way to see you.
Thank you. Hello, Katie. How are you doing now?
I'm doing better, I guess. I'm still shaken.
Can I ask you some more questions?
Certainly.
Was it your choice to cool off the relationship?
Yes, I felt I had to cool off the relationship. Because he was treating me so badly.
In what way, Katie?
He would behave completely irrationally. I was beginning to think he was psychologically imbalanced.
In your opinion, are the imbalances connected to his past?
Oh, I don't know. He did not talk a lot about his past. It seemed to me like he wanted to forget his Russian past. He was desperately trying to fit in better here, in the Union.
You mean he hated his past?
No, actually, he shared very fond memories of his childhood. But it seemed to me that his young adult life must have been difficult.
What can you tell me about his childhood?
Vasily had a very strong attachment to his bio-grandparents. Apparently, he was raised by them. And he loved his bio-grandparents deeply. I believe his bio-parents died during a savage riot.
Oh, must have been very hard for him. Imagine losing your bio-parents in absence of a sound educational system. Who would take care of you?
I guess he was lucky that his bio-grandparents took care of him. Of course, it could never compare to the care from a qualified professional in our CDCs. In the rogue states, the school teachers are only responsible for the academic education. They have nothing to do with the children's love, belonging, and esteem needs. I think Vasily was very fortunate that he did not develop neurotic behavior during his childhood, in absence of qualified care.
Did he ever talk about his days in Russia?
Yes, and he was very emotional when talking about his childhood in Russia. Then again, he often cited his dislike of his adult life there. I think he had a love-hate relationship with Russia.
Did he tell you what he used to do there?
I think he was a nuclear waste disposal expert. Unfortunately, his former job had no meaning here.
So,
You say Mr. Bogdanov did not develop neurotic behavior during his time in Russia, but you also mentioned his irrational behavior. How can you be sure his irrationality did not have neurotic roots?
I'm sure because he behaved as a rational man until recently.
Is that enough to tell you that it was not neurosis related?
As a professional with a lot of training and experience in human behavior, I very well know the symptoms of neurotic tendencies. And my Vasily was not neurotic.
Then how would you describe his behavior with your professional expertise?
Unfortunately, my professionalism does not allow me to make such comments on adults of Vasily's age. This is clearly not my domain.
I'm sorry, of course not.
If there are no further questions, I have to get back to my children.
No questions at this time, Katie. Thank you. Again, I'm very sorry for your loss.
It is a loss for our entire society. A precious citizen, a member of our union, has been taken from us by a barbaric act.
Poor Kati. The more I behave in an understanding way, the more she becomes emotional.
Hello, dear.
Hi, Sandra.
Want to meet tonight?
Sure.
At the cafe? Round 8?
Alrighty.
See ya.
No, I've had enough of that dangerous creep. He is of no use to my investigation. It's getting late. What should I... I need to get... Hi, Sandra.
Hi, dear.
Sandra, I need your opinion on something.
Well, I'm not one of those judges on your court network, but I can try to act like one.
Oh, quit it. Kati Stavropoulos is not telling me everything I need to know about Bogdanov.
Maybe she doesn't know what you need to know.
I think she does. But she's hiding behind professionalism and telling me adults are not her domain.
Maybe you should nonchalantly apply a little pressure to get her talking.
Pressure? How can I possibly pressure a teacher from the CDC? If Kati were to complain, Chief would fry my ass.
That may be so, but Kati, for reasons beyond my understanding, loved Bogdanov very much, right?
That's right.
So maybe you can corner her with the fact that Bogdanov is dead and his murderers are at large.
That might work.
Won't hurt to give it a try.
Pierre Deville is really giving me the creeps.
The artsy guy? What did he do?
He has this firearm collection, and I think he threatened me today.
He threatened you with a firearm?
No, not like that. But he made some vague remarks about them. I think.
You think?
I'm not sure. He speaks so weird.
Those artsy types get a kick out of confusing people. Chill out, girl. I'm sure he was just trying to make a pass at you.
Poor Mr. Bogdanov. He was very hard up.
Oh, sounds like a man I want to meet.
I don't mean it that way, Sandra. The guy didn't have many sexual partners because women were turned off by his physical appearance.
I guess. He should have worked out harder at the gym. Maybe he lacked the motivation to be fit.
According to Capello, he didn't have any motivational problems. In fact, he was so determined to be accepted by the society.
So what did he do about it?
He found an alternative to compensate for his physical inadequacy. The man desperately wanted to get rich. He became very greedy.
Ooh, I like that. Let me tell you, honey, a man's physical appearance becomes irrelevant if he has an Arrivee tattoo on his forehead.
Sandra, think of a man that you really like.
Okay, that's an easy thing for me to do. Why?
Just listen.
What if that man started showing you excessive attention? What would you do?
Show excessive attention to me? What a turnoff. Come on, no union man would do something like that.
What if he did?
Well, I'd probably run the other way. Is there a point to this?
Yes. This is the reason why Mr. Bogdanov was so alone. He tried so hard to be Prince Charming, but the women were repulsed by his behavior.
My word. He was both unattractive and overbearing. What a combination.
Oh, that Mr. Bogdanov was really a sorry case.
Who are you talking about, the dead immigrant?
Yes, he was struggling with many aspects of union life.
Can you be more specific?
He apparently wasn't in such good physical shape.
Then again, who is Phoebe? I gained a half a kilo over the last 3 months.
I'm not talking about half a kilo. This man was way over the limit.
Way over the limit? You mean he was obese?
To put it politely, yes.
I don't even want to imagine this man with his clothes off. Wasn't he going to the gym?
Of course he was. But he just wasn't getting the results. Did I tell you that I've been to Stardust?
No, you didn't. But I can tell you this. It's the worst place to go for a date.
Really? But it's a very trendy place. Just your style.
Well, it may be trendy, but it's not my style.
And why not?
Well, I've been there once. All the men were acting strange. They didn't even glance in my direction. I felt invisible.
Oh, poor Sandra. Now you know how I feel in trendy places sometimes.
Stop teasing and get to the point. Where did this Stardust subject come from?
Evidently, Bogdanov frequented this club.
Really? Says who?
Fabian, the bartender at the Stardust. He told me that Bogdanov spent a lot of time there just before his death. Sandra, I need to leave now. Talk to you tomorrow then.
Sure. See?
Hello, Katie. How are you doing now?
I'm doing better, I guess. I'm still shaken.
Can I ask you some more questions?
Certainly.
Katie, I need your opinion about Mr. Bogdanov's recent erratic behavior. I know you told me before. It is not your domain, but unfortunately, we do not have Mr. Bogdanov around to make this assessment with anymore. I need your help.
I told you I cannot help you. Why don't you go and talk to his therapist?
I already have. She did not experience the irrational behavior, so she could not help me.
You're forcing me to make an opinion on something that I'm not authorized for.
I will not add it to my report as an expert opinion. I really need your help here.
Okay, I'll do what I can. I think his behavior could be best described as hyper-emotional and aggressive behavior. It seemed like he had no control over his feelings. And these extreme feelings were the driving force behind his aggressiveness.
Do you think he had a problem fitting in?
I suspect he was not completely comfortable here. I think he was lacking self-confidence. I tried to help him improve his self-confidence, but his physical appearance discouraged him.
But you loved him, nevertheless.
Of course. He was so much in need of love and acceptance. Like a little boy. Oh, I miss him already.
Fuck.
I've taken enough of your time today, Kati. We can continue later.
Sure. As you wish.
Thanks for your help.
Glad to be of service to the system.
So,
Bogdanov had no control over his feelings and acted aggressive? Hyper-emotional and aggressive? I haven't seen her around before. Behaves as if she owns the place. Hi, I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center. And you are?
Who, me? My name is Piper.
Is that your last name?
No. Piper is my first name, and Darlington is my last name. Duh.
Don't get snippy with me, young lady. I am here for official business.
Excuse me. How may I help you?
I haven't seen you here before, Piper.
I was on spring break last week, and I just came back. That explains why you don't know me.
So I heard. Your hair looks great. Is it an original creation or from a catalog collection?
My, aren't we a nosy investigator? Does this have anything to do with Mr. B's case?
No. I thought I'd ask, because every once in a while, I need a wild-looking hairstyle.
Are you insinuating that my hairstyle is wild?
Wild, yes, but it suits your cheeky attitude.
What do you mean by cheeky?
Cheeky, meaning you're lippy.
Lippy? What are you talking about? Whatever, I give up.
What was your first reaction when you learned about Mr. Bogdanov's death?
Do you really want to know?
Sure. This is an investigation.
Well, I can't say I shed a tear. I am not the emotional type.
Wow, those are fantastic shoes, girl. Did you get those at the pyramid?
My goodness. I thought you were here for a murder investigation. And you're asking questions about my shoes?
Just a little small talk, Piper. No need to get snippy about it.
I just don't have a habit of making small talk with peace officers.
So, are you gonna tell me where you got your shoes?
Yes, if it will make your day.
Go ahead. Make my day.
I got them at the Zap, just a few doors down. But don't you dare buy a pair for yourself, because I don't want any peace officer running around in my shoes.
How did you hear about Mr. Bogdanov's death?
I heard it from the other girls. The moment I arrived at work, after my vacation.
And did they tell you any details regarding Mr. Bogdanov's death?
Oh, yes. They told me more than I wanted to know.
Oh, really? Such as what?
Oh, you know. They say he was murdered for his flesh. His mutilated body was found near a garbage dump. His legs and arms had been severed. His internal organs were stolen. And some of his body parts were cooked and eaten by the ultra-hungry in them rogue states. You know.
Oh, brother, here we go again. I think you girls have been watching too many rogue state reality shows. Well, Piper, I would like to ask some questions.
Does this mean I get to take a longer break from work?
That is up to your supervisor.
I really don't think my supervisor would care. She doesn't know what's going on anyway.
In the sense that she's new.
That's right. She ain't got a clue about how to run the floor here.
Did you know Mr. Bogdanov was going to Russia?
No way. Why would I care where he was going?
So, who runs the floor when he's away?
I do. I am the most senior.
If he were to go out of town, he'd probably let you know then, right?
Who knows? He never left town.
To your knowledge, he never left town then?
That's what I said. Do I have to repeat myself?
Just clarifying, young lady. How about if we continue our chat some other time?
Suit yourself.
Bye for now. I think I need a totally different approach next time. It's obvious she doesn't respond to courtesy. It's closed. I don't think I need to talk to Larissa, unless something important comes up. I have plenty of other stuff to do. I don't think... No. Gladys said that she'll call when Mr. Arnett is available. I've been slipping on my training. That...